Good morning, social media, Facebook, YouTube, New Destiny family. Welcome to the coffee conversation. So I hope you have your coffee and you're ready to conversate, dialogue with us by saying good morning, all of that great stuff, and just dialogue with us as we rock out together. Here we go. Rock out with us, like and share all of that great stuff. Here we go. Let's grow.
We're learning life, embracing love, managing marriage, maneuvering in ministry, and managing money. Welcome to the Let's Talk About It podcast.
Good morning. Good morning. Uh-oh. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everybody. Good morning. How y'all doing this briskly cool morning here in Texas? We've been talking all weekend. My children has been made aware. It's so funny for those who jumping on subscribe and share. Just want to tell this little quick little story as my wife sharing on the different platforms. When I talk about this brisk, cool morning. Good morning, Miss Felicia Smith. It's so funny because for years, my dad always tell me, you can tell him, like about a week ago, he said, "Oh, this is the last cold day of the year." And if anybody older say, "No, this ain't the last cold day of the year," we got that Easter snap coming. And so, good morning, Ms. Legans. And so, my kids and everybody's been made aware of the Easter snap. Everyone's so surprised this morning. Kiana called me this morning saying, "Hey, Mama told me that you just taught her about the Easter snap yesterday."
I knew nothing about it, like for real. I had never heard of it.
So welcome to the Easter snap. This is the if you know rhythm of life, you realize every year it gets cold right before Easter, and then that's the last one. Oh snap! If you ever want to figure out when's the last cold, if the last one happens right before Easter. So that's a little known fact that I was taught by wisdom of my elders.
Right.
And usually that's why most farmers only start farming on Good Friday. They'll start their crops on Good Friday because that's the time they know that the cold weather won't hit it.
Yeah. See, you old school. I know nothing about any of that. I'm a 80s, I don't know. Anyway.
I'm
So
an 80s baby too. I just raised by folks who was I guess 60 babies. But good morning everybody. We love you guys. I pray that you're having a great week. You know, me and my wife always coming with our coffee and conversation. And this week is no different. We like this is our way of dialoguing. I just feel like we don't really know when we got up because these Easter snaps are all over the place. You're right. You're right. But we try our best to always come here. This is our way of, you see us in different magnitudes. You see us on our business platform, which we'll be sharing some things that we're doing for small businesses. You see us on our business platform. You see my wife in her BAM platform. And you see us in many magnitudes, but this is our church platform. This is our way. If you look at the top of your screen, you see our New Destiny Church logo. This is our way of always connecting, outside of the pulpit with you. And so we want to always share different things. And today's no different. Good morning, Miss Aisha. This morning's no different. I want you to get your pens and papers or your mental notepads or your phones. We're going to be sharing some tips. Listen, number three to me is my probably one of the most important tips that we're going to share with you. But you're going to have to go through one and two to get to three. We're going to have two more after that. But I want you to get some, pen and paper or your mental notepad or your phone. We're going to be sharing some tips this month. If for you though, for those who don't know, this month is Financial Literacy Month.
yeah.
Financial Literacy Month. And it's two things I'm trying to normalize, babe. I don't know if people even are aware that I'm trying to normalize, but two
What's that?
things I'm trying to normalize. Number one is um, the comfort in admitting you're not financially literate. You know,
Yeah.
most of us don't want to admit that we're illiterate, but I want to make sure that we're comfortable knowing that you never would know everything about money. So the more you admit that you don't know, is the more you can get. Another thing I'm trying to make more normalized is mental health
Yeah.
and being aware that mental health is something we got to be aware of, and we can't just ignore our mental health. So doing this month, all month this month, we're going to be dealing with financial literacy in one way, form, or fashion. If you was at church yesterday, you heard me preach. Money is a tool,
So
not a
this was
toy.
dynamic. By the way, I just want to let you know off the chain. If you have not, go and watch that. The new series, Money is a Tool, Not a Toy, Part 2. He preached it back in 2018.
Two
Um,
2022.
Oh, 2022. See, I'm Shane. Um, but now he's doing it again, which I think is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. It was so good to me yesterday, baby. I was about to throw a shoe at you, sir. It was so good.
Wow. I'm glad it was able to help. Quite a few people came up afterwards and said, they was helpful for them. But listen, everyone who listen, do me a favor. Let me know you there. Say hello. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a wave. Whatever you got to do. We want to know you're in the house, that you're listening to us. And then I want you to share with somebody. We're going to be sharing some very quick tips. Today's topic is, did we put on there? Welcome to Coffee Conversation, Hardens. So today's
Oh,
topic is going to be becoming
yeah.
financially aware. Financially aware.
In the screen, Alexa, stop. Can you type that in the screen? Financially aware. We want to make sure we're going to share some steps with you. You know, if you come with us, I always say in the BAM, I'm gonna share principles that allow you to process so that you can progress in life, love, marriage, ministry, and money. And today we're talking about money. When
Yeah.
we come to coffee conversation, we're gonna talk about one of those. And today we're talking about that because, as Bishop said, it's Financial Literacy Month. So I want you to type, financially aware, man, becoming financially aware. The Legan said illustration was phenomenal. I know.
Illustration was phenomenal.
I thought so too. That
Wow.
illustration was amazing.
Wow.
Um, but type in the screen if you're joining us live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want you to type in financially aware. We want to make sure that you are financially aware, and we want to share some tips with you. Not that we've made it. I always
Mhm,
tell people we were homeless before, right? We
mhm.
didn't, we didn't add, we did not add. And the Lord has blessed us tremendously. Not where we want to be, but we're not where we used to be. Praise the Lord.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
because of that, we've learned some stuff in financial literacy with my husband. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not the financial one. He is. I think he was up doing budget this morning. You understand me? And I probably didn't spend already. Don't judge me on this call. We're not gonna do that. And I didn't already probably spent. But it is what it is. But I know for him, he has a whole financial literacy course. Shout out to everybody that has ever taken his class, his course. Bishop, we're gonna have to get you to do that course again at least 2 times a year.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I want to. I wish I could do it in a school. I wish I could do it in a church. I wish I can do it in a group home. I want to take this thing on the road. I think it's definitely in a point to where I'm learning more every time, and I try to teach more every time. But the point of today, thank you, Miss Aisha, for posting that. That the point today is to get you to a point. Everyone who's listening, I want to get you to a point to where you are able to find some extra money. We want you
Come
to
on.
find how many of y'all like finding money? Like finding money. I mean, I remember as a kid when I wanted to go to the store, I knew all I had to do was go to the couch. I used to go to the couch and find nickels and dimes and quarters, and I could go to the store. And so the first part of becoming, financially, I guess, balanced, we got to start understanding where we're losing money. If we find out where we're losing money, then we can find that money. And we find out in our financial literacy course, one of the first thing we teach you is that you ain't got to stop anything, drastic. We're going to teach you how to find money you're already wasting. So that's what today's about. Is becoming financially aware of the money that you're losing that you don't even realize you're losing. I think the Bible says this here that we want to put our money in pockets with holes in it. When I'm putting our money in pockets with holes in it, that means that as soon as you get it, it's like it's just it goes away. So if you're with us today, I hope that you're rolling out with us today. We're going to talk about the top 5 things we need to become financially aware. Listen, be totally honest with you, we got 3. We're working on number 4 and 5 while we're on the call together. So just roll with us today. So listen, this is so I want y'all to write this down. Number 1, that I want you to become financially aware of the money that you're losing unnoticeable. I don't know if that's a lot, right? Become financially aware of the money that you're losing unnoticeable. Type in unnoticeable, type in unknown. But that unknown money that you don't even realize you're losing. And I'm gonna talk about that real quick, but I want to see somebody type unknown money. Type it in. Unknown money.
So is
Become
that your
financial.
first point, Bishop?
That's the first one. First one. First one.
So number one is unknown money. Unknown
Unknown
money. Y'all
money.
students this morning. I know you're probably on your way to work, writing on the canvas of your mind, or you're listening to us on podcasts, just write it down. But unknown money, definitely unknown money.
If you want to gain more money, you want to get more money, you want to start becoming more in control of your money. The first thing you got to do is stop losing money that you didn't even know you was losing. And like my wife said this morning, I was doing the budget. I was doing the budget, and I seen some unknown expensive, man. I want to take, if you don't do your budget, if you don't go through and look at your money, you don't realize what you're losing. I'm so angry right now. I am saying it right now. I'm saying it because y'all, I live in Point Blank. I live in Point Blank, Texas. Point Blank, Texas is really, really far away from any city. So I know we don't have Uber Eats here. Do we have Uber Eats in Cold
No, we don't have no Uber Eats. Baby,
so and Uber not gonna pick us up in Cold Spring either, is it?
no, we don't have no
So
Uber. Do we have an Uber in Cold Spring?
I
I've
don't
never
think
heard
so. But for some reason I'm paying $9.99 every month for Uber.
for Uber. Make that make sense. Can somebody tell me from Cold Spring area, do we have an Uber in Cold Spring? Yes or no? Because maybe we tripping and we didn't know we didn't miss the mark. I don't know. I'm tripping.
That was one thing I found. That was one thing I found was Uber. Uber. I was mad. I literally got mad because I don't know how I'm being charged. Listen, and if you look at your bank statement, I promise you, you have one of some things that you don't even use anymore. Uber was one, and then, baby, the other thing I saw on there was about four. Now I know for a fact we got about three subscriptions, two or three subscriptions on our Apple Pay, but
Hmm.
for some reason I seen five transactions for Apple Pay. I want to go and reach into Apple and tell them to get my money back.
You're a nut.
So
Somebody say
no
no.
Uber.
There's no Uber. There's no
So
Uber.
how am I getting charged for $9.99 for Uber every month? I don't understand this. And so, but listen, that's a crazy thing though, man. Like when every time I talk to financial literacy course, the first day I say, go back home, look at your finances, and go find money that you've been spending you knew nothing about at all. That you knew
Yeah.
nothing about. And people came back and say, man, I shut off this and I shut off that. I don't even use that. I don't even use this. And my kids been getting games, and that's the one I don't like.
Oh, when them children get them games. Does anybody put the number one if you didn't find out your children is getting games
I
with?
wasn't talking about the children.
Oh, you made me. I can't stand you.
Will
All
somebody tell
mission to
Pastor
call me
T?
out on social media. You
Will
dirty
somebody
dog.
Will somebody tell Pastor T that that you will never win the game, even if you pay? Even if you pay for the next round, you'll never win the game.
I thought you were talking about them children. I'm so ashamed. I don't know what to do. You make me so sick sometimes. You really do.
I love you. I love Amazon. That's another one, man. You know, so listen, you don't realize that so listen, it's one thing for you to spend and you knew you spent and you shouldn't have spent, but it's something else when you went on a page and you scrolled through a page and you realize it had a string attached. And ever since you left, you've been paying. And one time we look here, because we have Amazon Music. And
Yeah.
listen, watch this. We had Amazon Music, and so we was paying for BET on Amazon. We was paying for BET on Apple. We was paying for Amazon Music on Amazon. We was paying for Amazon Music on, I think, even on Apple. And we had all these multiple transactions that was
Right.
coming out. And listen, we was able to get on the phone. I called Amazon, said, look here, this happened, and they refunded me up to a year. They took money back all a year and said, here you go, your money back. They knew they stole my money.
What you say? They knew they stole your money.
They knew they stole money. So if this helping you out real quick, I want you to give me a thumbs up. It's like, no, this is a good tip. Tip number one. Tip number one is a good one. Let me know. But we want to become financially aware. Financial literacy, we want to become financially aware. You want to say anything about that, babe?
Yeah, I want to like you have to pay attention to the hidden fees, those things that you do not know about. That's why it's very important to look at your bank account. It's very important to pay attention and just not be out here spending because you'll find out. I know what we found out when we first started doing this a couple of years ago.
That's
We
point
found
number
out,
two.
huh?
Is that point number two you finna go over?
That was number one, hidden fees.
Oh, 'cause I thought you about not all them the McDonald's and stuff. You talking about that one
Oh,
next?
don't, I was about to say that, so don't
I
say
know
that.
you was. I don't
Okay,
say
well,
that
go
yet.
ahead.
That's
I'm
number
gonna
two.
just follow you. I would say this on the hidden fees. Pay attention. Can y'all type that in the screen? Pay attention to your money. Follow your money. Pay attention to it and see what is coming out of your account and see what you're being charged for so that you could be able to put that money up and say, okay, I can use that for this. Because some people, we found out this, we've sat down with multiple people and literally went through their money and they were like, well, we don't have no money and we're broke and we don't have this and we don't, both of you working in a household and you broke. How is that happening? And so we found out, we went through a couple, went through their whole thing. They looked up, and I don't know how many people, we done done this with a lot of people, huh?
Yeah,
We've
right.
done a lot of stuff with a lot of people behind closed doors,
Yeah.
like just really helping. And so in that, we found out that while they were doing this, they looked up and they had like $700-800 left over.
Yep.
Messed
They
their
didn't know
whole
about it.
and
They didn't know.
they didn't know. You gotta
So
follow. I would say anything. If I didn't learn anything from Bishop, and with this financial literacy, I've learned how to make sure that we follow the money, that I pay attention to every dime that we spend, and we come together. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, he does that more than me. Okay,
well, we're a
let's
team.
be
We're a
honest
team.
here.
You pay attention to what we need, and I pay attention to what we how we can save and everything. You need both. You don't have some. Both people can't be so financially sensitive to where nobody cares about anything, but both people also can be so spending to where you don't save anything either. So listen. Next thing I want to talk about. The next thing. So we got to become financially aware of money we're losing. The first one is money we're losing. Unknown money. Unknown
Good
money we're losing.
morning, Lady Davis.
Hey, Lady Davis, how you doing? Can't wait to see you this Sunday. The
Yeah,
money we're losing, unknown money. The second thing we could become financially aware of the amount of money we're blowing. The amount of
type
money we're
that number
blowing.
2. The amount of money that we're blowing.
This is something me and my wife had a pretty dramatic experience. I'm gonna say not just dramatic, traumatic. It was trauma. Oh, I have feedback for some reason, but it was traumatic situation. I'll never forget. It was probably about maybe Kiana's is 24, 20, Kiana 22, 20, 22, 23. Anyways, Kiana's probably like 8 whenever this happened. And we were so afraid to go back and look at our money and see what we were spending. So one day I sat down and I went through a whole month of spending. And I added up, I think we spent like $250 in groceries for the
Mhm.
month, maybe like $500 worth of groceries. And then I sit there and I looked at all the money we spent and out to eat. Man, we had gone out to eat.
I'm so
Prob
shamed. I'm so shamed. Before he say this, I just want to let y'all know I'm shamed. But go ahead, sir.
we mean McDonald's, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box. I mean, literally, probably somewhere
And
close to
this after we got groceries though. Let's make that clear. This
yeah.
is after we got groceries.
I
Shame.
think we spent $500 in groceries. We probably spent $350 in out to eat. We wasn't aware of the money that we was blowing. And what happens is you going out and you spend some money, and you didn't know that he was going out. He spent some money, and by the way, the kids went out and you sent some money with them, and then you went to the game and you sent some more money with them. And after a while, you look up, man, and you listen. I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you look at the calendar going forward, you really know about what you're gonna do, and you can plan to spend. But when you don't plan to spend, the money tells you what to do, and you can't tell the money what to do. Somebody say I'm
That,
ashamed too.
yeah.
You want to add anything to that, babe?
It goes back to what I said earlier. Know what you have to spend, know what you're spending, and be more aware of what you're doing. And know how you're spending it. Like, no, you got to be able to again follow the money. You got to be able to pay attention to it, because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself in debt. And you got to figure out a way that even the money that you see that's happening, that you'll be able to, create a space for and tell your money where to go, and not allowing your money to tell you where to go. AKA, one thing that Bishop always says is you want to have more money. You want to get to a point to where you're not having, what is it? More money at the end of your month. A month. What you
You
say?
you ever having more month at the end of your money instead of more money at the end of your month?
Say it one more time. You got to say it slower for the people in the back. Me.
That's Dave Ramsey. He talked about it on I can't remember the name of the program that he had, but he talked about that we need more money at the end of our month, not more month at the end of our money. Sometimes we run out of money before the month goes out.
Come
And
on, Bishop.
so we want our money to find the end of our month, not our end of our month. Look up and we ain't having the money. Blow
Right.
money is on fast food and travel. Definitely my problem. Listen,
Oof.
it's a way that we can actually, it's not, I'm not going to tell you not to live, not to travel, not to have a good time, but do it intentional. If you do it intentional, okay, I know I got this money to live with. I'm gonna save this much. I'm gonna blow this much. It's cool to blow money because at the end of the day, we work so we can enjoy our life, not just so we can save. So I got another one. You go next one, baby.
I want to say this though. One of the things that we did when we were intentional about, what we spend and how we spend, Bishop, I remember going to the girls' games and we had our
Cooler.
we didn't care who talked about us. We had our
Oh,
lunch bags and we had our cooler. That we was like, can we bring the cooler in the game? They let us bring the cooler. When we brought in the cooler, we had our salad in the cooler. We had our drinks in the cooler. We didn't buy nothing else. They didn't know why we had that cooler, but they didn't ask either. But we brought that cooler. And then the ones that told us we couldn't bring the cooler, guess what we did? We went to the car, sat in the car, and ate our food. We were intentional about living like no one else so that
so
we
we
can
can live
live
like
like
him.
no one else. Dave Ramsey. You want to get to a point to where, type this in the screen. Dave Ramsey said it. You want to live like no one else so that you can live like
Like
no
no
one
one
else.
else.
That means
Listen
you
to
can't spend everything.
Sister London, look up.
Look,
We finna
hey,
start
it's the
bringing our
shoes
cooler
for
back
you.
to the
Good
game.
morning, David. David says
This
the
is
shoes for
shoes
me.
for me. I
I'm
know,
doing better
right?
though.
You single though. You single with no kids. I probably would buy everything in the world myself.
My
But
kids be so mad at me, no, because they will ask for money that I have not planned for, and I'll be like, you gotta wait till my next pay so I can put in. Yes,
yep,
they
yep.
need to wait. They'll be okay. They are not gonna die. That's good.
Look,
That's what we
I was gonna
travel.
tell. I
It's like
tell the
back in
travel
the
back
80s.
in the 80s. It's
And we're gonna
called
have to
travel.
bring it back. Bring it
Yep.
back onto this. Yeah.
But listen, I was gonna tell Sister London, watch. We going to these AAU games. We bringing the cooler. I'm tired of going out to eat in between games. We are bringing the cooler.
I'm so
If I
sick of
can,
it.
if I can remember to bring the
Right.
cooler.
That's the part. If we have time and remember, we need to take a cooler because this girl playing these AAU games is gonna break us. It's already $20 just to get in there. That's $40 just to
Man,
get in the game. Like we got to
I'll
figure
make
something out.
you. I'll make you start hiding, walking behind me, and so they can't see you walk
No, we
in.
not. We ain't doing nothing that's gonna go against the will of Lord. You ain't gonna get me in trouble, please.
Being
No,
single
sir.
childless has saved me. I know what you mean, Miss Whitney. You know, if I had it all over to do again, I would have done the same thing. I was gonna say I would have waited. No, I would have had the same thing. Cause now we can enjoy ourselves later. But listen, can I give it number three?
Okay.
Number three. Live like no one else. Listen, number three. This is probably my favorite, but become aware, right? And this is gonna be a little story. I want you to take your thinking caps on. I'm gonna put the thinking caps on. We're gonna do a
Oh,
little
this gonna be
talking right here.
good. Y'all brace yourself.
Um,
This one gonna be good.
Bishop almost lost his religion a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I stayed safe. I didn't cuss. I did raise my voice, and I did throw my phone. But I want you to type this down. I threw my phone. I did. I did. And the dude, he knew if I was there, I probably would have choked him. But this is what happened. Everyone type in financially aware. You got to become financially aware. And so my son-in-law and my daughter went to go buy a car, and I really want to teach a class on this. And many of y'all don't know I used to sell cars, so I know a little bit about cars. And so I'm gonna teach you some tips now. Don't listen to the story without writing these tips down. And so he went and bought a car, and he got there, and I said, "Son, call me when you get there because I know how car salesmen are." And hey, Miss Johnson, and I
Amen.
said, "I know how car salesmen are." And I said, "So I want you to do this favor. Get there, and I want you to let me know what car you got." And he brought me the sales sheet. He sent me the sales sheet. And listen, everyone, there's a $20 rule in buying cars. This is the first tip I'm gonna give you, financially aware, because you got to become aware. There's a $20 rule, and most people don't know about this $20 rule. For every $1,000 you pay for a car, your note gonna be $20. So if you buy a car for $1,000, that's $20 a month. If you buy a car for $2,000, that's $40 a month. And if you buy a car for $3,000, that's $60 a month, and so on and so on. So if you buy a car for, let's say, $15,000, you take 15 and you multiply 15 times 20, your car note should be $300 a month. And so I know this. And so I'm not going to give you his car note, but I know this. And so I looked at the car. I said, son, they have a whole lot of extra stuff on there. It's before the sales guy came. I said, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Take the warranty off. You don't have to get that. Take the protection, all that. You don't need that. Tell them this is what you're willing to pay. Now, listen, you can't go in there and ask for less than that $20. I'm willing to pay with tax, title, and license this number. And that number is $20 times the car note if you got good credit. Now, if you got bad credit, it's going to be a little bit higher. It's gonna be a little bit higher. You can probably about $25 because you got to pay higher interest. But if you got decent credit is anywhere between 550 and no 550 and 650. That's decent credit. You should be able to use the $20 rule. Y'all with me? If y'all with me, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're still with me. Oh yeah, I like that. So I want you to get this. So he went there and he told him that. So I told the guy, I said, this is what I want you to do. I told the salesman, I said, my son-in-law found a car. It's gonna be $20 a month. And he says, okay, then he said, but he has to pay gap. No problem. We threw the gap in. Another tip, pay gap. So the gap took it up a little bit. but not much. I said, go ahead and pay the gap. And he says, also his interest rate is going to be a little higher because he even though he got good credit, it's new credit. That threw an alarm for me. That threw an alarm for me. I said, okay, no problem. So I calculated what it was going to be. I said, so we got the car note down. It was maybe $10 more than what I was looking for in the paper. No problem. We good. I fought with him. We got that note locked in. My son-in-law calls me back. Now he told me, said, yeah, we're going to have to go with a 11% interest rate because his credit is new credit, and but we don't pay attention to some stuff. And if we negotiate price, financially aware, if we can negotiate price, they can make anything fit in the price if they spread it out over a longer period of time. You still got the same car note, they can spread it out over a long period of time. So my son-in-law texts me, and say, hey, he gave me a warranty. And with the warranty, he did it instead of doing it for X amount of months, he did it for longer. And the payment stayed the same. All kind of alarms went off in my head. Because if he kept the note the same and he gave him a free warranty, why would you have to extend out the month? So I called back. I said, hey, what's going on, man? He said, yeah, he gave me a package deal. Watch this. This is what upset me. This is what made me throw my phone. He gave me a package deal. He said, if I bought the warranty, he can give me a lower interest rate. I lost it. And if you don't know why I lost it, that's why you're on this call right now. Because you need to understand why I lost it. Because interest rate has nothing to do with warranty. The warranty is from the dealership. The interest rate is from the bank. Whatever interest rate you got, you got. What he did was he held back the 9% interest rate in his office and waited till he got there and tricked my son-in-law and said, hey, if you get this warranty, more money, he makes his sales, I can throw in a cheaper interest rate. And if you don't know that, it sounds like a good deal. I told him, I said, you idiot. I said, you robbing my son-in-law, and I told you don't play games with him. I said, you're gonna give him that 9% interest like you're supposed to, and you're gonna you're gonna take that contract and rip it up, and you're gonna give him back his payment that we talked about before with that 9% interest, and you're gonna bring it down. The dude looked at me, got nervous because he realized I figured him out. He was gonna rob my son-in-law. Because this is the worst part. This is the worst part. It's a brand new vehicle, y'all. They not listen to me, all the baby. Brand new vehicle. And with this brand new vehicle, it comes with a 3-year warranty
Already,
automatically.
automatically.
He sold him a 5-year warranty. Listen, and so you think, oh, that's 8 years with a warranty. No, the 5 years was going to be running congruent with the 3 years. That means he basically bought 5 years and only really was going to get 2 extra years because he already had 3 for free. We got to become financially aware. And he didn't, and I told him, and my son-in-law signed a contract. And if you sign a contract, you can't rip it unless you robbing somebody. The dude sit there, ripped the contract up, and said, "I'm sorry, I was just trying to help him out." I said, "No, you won't. Stop lying. You literally, if I was there, I would have choked him. I would have choked him because you don't play with my kids. You don't play with my kids. And I told you before you went back to the finance office that don't play with my child. This is my daughter. I know what's going on. Don't play with me." He ripped up the contract. He took the 5-year warranty off, gave him his 3-year warranty, gave him his 9% interest, and he left out of there paying even less than what I said. It was exactly the 20% rule with the
Come
gap on top of it. We got to become financially aware. I know I tell a story. I don't know if I hope they have somebody. I know who to call when Lincoln's ready to buy this vehicle.
I'm telling you, the Joker Cole in that car dealership, he do not play. I want to say this, and here's the thing too. I think some people think, and this is outside of the financial aware part, is that you got to go to the dealership to go and sit in the dealership all day to go get a car. Y'all, we have not sat in the dealership for 7-8 years. We don't go to no dealership. We gonna call. We gonna find the car that we want. Find it online. We actually call the dealership that has the car. And now you need some good credit in order to go this route, because you can't talk no noise without good credit. Can you type in the screen? This is why you want your credit good. You want to make sure that you take care of your credit. Type that. Make sure you take care of your credit. Your credit is your power. You got to have, and if you do not have good credit, no problem. I'm going to tell you a real quick way to get your credit where you need it to be. It's going to take time, but you can do it. You don't got to hire nobody to get it done. I'm a girl that worked for Equifax. I can definitely tell you how to get your credit well done and get it together. Okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what we do is we call the dealership, and we've done it with those that come to us about cars. My nephew called, we worked out the deal over the phone. Of course, they're going to try to get you there, but you got to be willing to fight back. And you walk in that dealership, you might be there for about 2-3 hours versus 9 hours to be able to sign the paperwork and be able to walk out. But there's a way to do it when you have good credit that you can fight through it. Am I saying that right, husband?
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is, y'all, you got to realize is that when you go to dealerships, they can go to 72 months, they can go to 88 months. And so if we go there and say, they say, how much you want to pay? Say, no, I don't want to negotiate month. I want to negotiate price and interest. And so if you go there with the $20 rule, you'll know how much that car should cost. And
Right.
now y'all can compare apples to apples. So I don't want to pay all that extra. You cannot make me take the tire warranty. You can't make me take the clip coat of this. They can't make you pay for all the extra stuff. That's stuff they try to add on. Because listen, it's like at a restaurant. When you go to a restaurant, when your tip pays for the door person, the waitress, and the person who clean your table. When you go to dealership, the car salesman trying to get some money, and the finance guy trying to get some of your money, and then the dealership trying to get some of your money. So each one of them trying to add something onto your car so that you can pay them extra, and they're gonna try to sneak it in as much as they can. You gotta be aware. Today's lesson is become financially aware. I spent too long on that topic though, didn't I?
No, I love it though. I need y'all to heart it up or put the heart in the screen. Just say help. Did this help you? Just knowing about that when it comes to that part of going to get a car, just being aware of anything you get, furniture, whatever you able to get, be able to be aware of that. I would say that.
Yeah.
Devin said this. I like this. He said, with good credit, you can walk in feeling like they need you and not the other way around. That part
Amen.
today.
Amen.
You're able to
And
do that. Let's say you don't have good credit. What I want you to do, I want you to go to Credit Karma, type that in the screen. I want you to go to Credit Karma, go look at your credit score and see what that credit score look like. Now, there's going to be 2 different credit scores. You're going to have Equifax and you're going to have another one. It's going to be in between when they get ready to pull your credit. If your
experience.
credit is less than, let's say 5, okay, or 550, 540, is less than that. Here's the thing. We've been around people that have 900 credit score. Never heard of that in my life, but I'm trying to get there, Brother Devin. You understand me? Sitting in a room, 800. Was it 800 or 900 credit score?
I
We
think
thinking we
it
had a
was
high
900,
credit score. It was
and he had
900.
900.
Yeah, and we thinking we got a high credit score, bragging about ours, baby, when the credit score is way, I didn't even know it even. Brother Devin, I didn't know it went that high, sugar. Am I the only one that didn't know it went that high?
I
But
thought 700 was the max.
I thought that was the max. I thought like 750 was the max or something to that nature. But this is what I found. You go to Credit Karma, you go look at your credit. After you go look at your credit, you find out what's all the stuff on your stuff. Okay, this real quick. When you do that, after you look at your credit and you see what's on there, you find the smallest bill and you start paying that bill off. That's going to boost your credit. You go to once you pay that bill off, you go to the next bill. You pay that off until it's paid off. I don't care if it's $40. I don't care if it's $700. Start the process of paying that off. Use that with the money that you have left over after you done went and looked at the hidden fees, after you done went and you know what you're spending. Now you're able to kind of look and see where your money is. Take a look at your credit score and pay attention to that. Our children,
Yeah.
we taught them that. Pay attention to your credit score is your power. In order for you to go out here and be able to get things, build legacy, build wealth. If you want to build wealth, if that's not what you want to build, okay. But get your credit score where it needs to be. Brother
And
David
I
said, I thought it was 800. I know, me
it
too.
maybe it was 800. I thought because when he said 900, but
He
either
said,
way,
nah,
I'm not either one of them.
yeah.
But I'm a seven. But listen, I want to add one more thing about the car because I don't want to leave this out. This is important because a lot of people go in and say, well, how much should I put down on a car? How much should I put down on a car? Well, that 20%, that $20 rule work both ways. For every 1,000 that I pay for a car, I got to pay $20. But also every $1,000 you pay down on a car, you take $20 off. So if you don't like the car note and you say, I really want to get that car note down a little bit more, well, you control that. Say, I want to put $5,000 down so I can bring $100 off my car note. So if you was paying $500 for that car If you put $5,000 down, that's 5 times 20. That's $100. You can get that car note down to 400. I think one time we went and we put quite a bit down, and we brought a car truck way down because we
I would
wanted to
say to
control our spending.
$300, baby. That
Yeah,
truck was in a good spot. We had never
yeah,
been there before. But you
no,
want to be, and I, because what I was taught was don't put no money down. Don't be listening to these people out here in these streets, because the more money you put down, the more it ain't really going to them. It's actually going to your car.
you're
It's
going to
going
your
to
car
your
note.
car note. So some people think it's going to them. They're going to take my money. No, it's going to go towards your car note for your car note to go down. I hope that helps.
Yeah,
All right, number four.
I don't have a
Number
number four.
four. I
You
have
got
a
it?
number four. I have
Okay,
four
go
and
ahead.
five. So number four, I would say one of the things to be financially aware of is learning how to build an emergency fund. Put emergency fund.
That's it.
Number four, emergency fund. You want to be able to be, after you done found the hidden fees, after you know what you're spending, put emergency fund to the side to where this is where you're able to have something for 3 to 6 months. You know, if you want to say, I'm going to put $1,000, let's start at 500. You want to put 500 in this emergency fund, but eventually you want to get it to 3 to 6 months of
Yes.
money that you're able to have there. So if you just say I'm going to put $1,000, this will help you with with unexpected things. You got tires that go on flat. You know, let's say there's something that happens to one of the
Windshield
kids.
break. Yeah.
Uh, say that
Sickness,
again.
medicine. I say a windshield break or kid need medicine.
Yeah. And for my business owners, for if business slow down, you have this up in emergency fund because this is necessary and is needed. So we encourage you, put some money, and this is money you do not touch. This is not money you go, an emergency is not shoes.
No.
Catch that. Emergency is not going out to eat at Whataburger. That is not an emergency. You got to know that you got to have an emergency fund. Okay. That is so important for your financial awareness, is that I'm going to be aware that life happens. Life be lifing.
Yeah, it
Stuff go
does.
on. So this money is put aside for me to make sure that I have. Anything you want to add, husband?
No, that's key, man. It seemed like every time we didn't have an emergency fund, we had more emergencies. Every time we got an emergency fund, we had less emergencies. So, this key thing is being responsible. We cannot just continue. I'm 40. What year is it? 2020. I'm 45 years old. Y'all, it's like that these days. I'm 45 years old, and 45, I say between 35 and 45. If you've been playing up to your 34th birthday and I was 35, it's time to get responsible. We got to realize that people are going to depend on us. We need to become more responsible. It's time out just wasting life. It's time to start enjoying life. And when you're going to enjoy life, you got to be responsible. And it isn't, you will, don't get me wrong. We slip, we spend too much. This check, we spent a little extra than what we usually do because we're trying to get used to this new rhythm with these basketball games and stuff. But guess what? You catch it, you look at it, and you stay aware. Okay, y'all, we need to slow down. We need to check this out. We need to do this different. So you don't get to the point to where I got to be perfect. No, you got to be aware.
All right.
You got to be aware. Ignorance is not an option.
Oh, type that. Ignorance is not an option. I love that. That's
Nope,
not
it's
your
not.
portion to be ignorant when you are become aware. If you're listening to us right now, you are now aware.
Not aware.
You are now aware. You cannot unhear what you just heard on this call. If you're watching the replay, if you're watching us live, you can, the bam, no, I'm going to say it every time. You cannot unhear what you
What you
just
just
heard.
heard.
So
Yeah.
this will be life changing. And you showed up here for a reason. The Lord set it up. Come on here, won't he will? Won't he
Yeah.
do it? He done it. So you can't unhear what you heard. All right. Lastly, my fifth thing when it comes to financial awareness is creating extra. Type
That's it.
that. You got to be
That's
able,
it.
be able to, after you have hidden money, I mean, you found out about the hidden fees, you didn't found out, know where your money is, you didn't found out, being financially aware of these different things that are added, like Bishop was talking about the car, and now you learned how to do emergency fund. Now you got to learn how to do extra. Bishop, you preached about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Having the more you give out and don't just give to yourself, you're giving to other ways, you will be able to have extra. So how do you get to a point of having extra? I'm so glad you're here. And yes, we did this. I did this intentionally because there's other ways for you to be able to go out for extra. You gotta, if you have, if you're working for a company, finding out what you can do for a hustle. and not really a hobby, but a hustle that you could create more funding to come to your house. Start somewhere with some
Yeah.
type of funding or something to that nature. Anything you want to add, husband?
Yeah, I mean, look, my daughter, she's a school teacher and she's really getting into it. She graduates this year and she's already teaching. And I'm so proud of her because she's already started her hustle. I was 40, 30 years old before I started probably 40 years old before I started my hustle. She already started hustle. She bought a camera and she started, taking booking appointments and she's blowing it up. And I realized it because the teacher's not gonna make a lot of money. And so I said,
No,
babe, you
but
know
she
what?
had to realize that first, though. She
Yeah.
realized, she was like, man, I got to find something else to do because what I'm making as a teacher is not enough.
And we talked to her about real estate and all those things. But yesterday, she realized immediately, like I guess all these bells start going off. I need a contract. I need, LLC. I need this, and because she realized that I don't want to start my business off wrong. I want to start it off right. And the same thing we want to offer to her, we want to offer to you guys. Each one of y'all got a hustle. You got this thing you want to do to make some extra money because I'm telling you, man, it's in this world. You need extra money. I'm sorry, you'll never get wealthy just living on one check. It never happen. You got to have multiple streams. So if
Right.
you are interested in starting multiple streams of income and you trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out how to really do this thing right. Well, y'all know we're business owners. You know that we try our best to help people. Well, we're gonna do a
But we don't
workshop.
take we don't even say that because you may not know. Just in case
Okay.
it's that person that's watching, you may not know that we are business owners. We're not just pastors of a church, but we also full time in business. That we have our
Yeah.
own business that we're doing, and so you may want to be a part of that. But go ahead, husband.
So if you want to know how to get your business right, because maybe you started before and you're like, man, I wasn't making enough money. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do that. Listen, people pay paper, not people. They don't want to pay me because I'm a black man. They don't want to pay me because I'm this and I'm that. No, people don't. They can care less about who you are. They want to know what you got, what paperwork you got, and we want to help each one person who's interested in doing business and interested in making more money. In Financial Literacy Month, we want to understand to become financial literacy. Part of that is understanding how to manage extra money. So we have a workshop coming up. It's called what is it called? There you go. Business Startup Boot Camp. Business Startup Boot Camp. April the 26th. I would love for you to come be part of this. If you know someone who needs part of this, this is a shameless plug. It is because we was going to talk about financial literacy, and my wife said this morning, babe, well, we need to also let them know about the boot camp because I think it's something that will help out. So, boom, it's a shameless plug. Join us for this free. And listen, everyone who comes, if you got the patience and you got $300 in your pocket, why $300? Because the government charges $300. If you can bring $300, I will help you get your LLC for free before you leave. You
But
got to
let's say
bring
you're
that
not
you.
ready though. You're not ready yet for LLC. No worries, no problems. You still come and be a part of this, and it's $65. We're gonna be with you 4 hours
Yeah.
of straight information overload where you're
Yeah.
able to do that. Maybe you're not ready for the LLC, but we want to be able to offer that to you, and that's a part of this program that we're doing, this workshop, is that we want to be able to offer that to you if that's something that you want to do and you want to start and be able to have extra money, because you cannot, I feel like the scripture, you can't live on bread alone. Come here,
No,
you
you can't.
can't live on bread alone. You got to be willing to, and I put the link in, so you're able to snatch that link, go purchase your spot for $65 a day. Yes, shameless plug, because we want to show people how we have been able to create 6 different ways to have extra funding to come
Yeah.
in through 6 different businesses. But we want to show you how to start that first. Start the first one, which
Yeah.
eventually can go into something else. But you want to be able to create other ways. Somebody type create other ways, because I promise you that 9 to 5 is not going to be it. My husband, and I'll forever say this, my husband was working for a company making 6 figures. And we were so excited about it. We couldn't wait to get to the 6 figures. It was like, once we get there, man, we done made it. And baby, we got there and it was like, dang, not that you're trying to be greedy, but God, it still wasn't enough. We were
And not
still
just
looking
that,
at the
I
check.
wasn't happy. I love what I did. I love, I did what I love, but I didn't
Mhm.
love what I did. And I tell people now, man, do what you love until you can love what you do. That's a deep thought process.
Ooh,
Think about it when
that's
you get home.
good.
And at the end of the day, I love what I do now. I love what I do, and I do what I love at the same time. So at the end of the day, I want you to do the same. So many of us, and I'm gonna say it, we're slaves to someone else's system. And If you want to stop being a slave to a system, you got to start building your underground railroad. What I mean, you got to
Mm,
start building your way out slowly but surely. Start generating. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen because you think about it. It's not going to happen because you wrote down a piece of paper. I tell people all the time, you can pay attention, but until you implement, it's not going to happen. And
right.
so, so I just challenge you: if you can sign up for the workshop, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But I would love to see you there. Or tell someone who's interested in really getting the business going the right way.
Yeah.
Do what you love until you can love what you do. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got to
Yeah.
be willing to do that. So the other way to be able to be financially aware is creating other income, creating other ways to be able to do what you do. Now, there are some people I'm going to say that love what they do. We have people that works for our company, works with us and partner with us, and they love what they do with us. But here's the thing, eventually we
Because
want them
not everybody's a business owner. Some people are just, I'm a good employee. You know what? That's not for me. I love, doing what I do. That's not everybody but for those who do know that there's more in you, we want to help you get there more.
yeah, be able to get that. So join us for that. I pray this helps. As I'm talking, I want to open up for any questions really, really quick. We got about 5 minutes. So
Mhm.
I want to open up with any questions that you may have about financial awareness. How do I become financially aware? What is it that I can do? We know number one, hidden fees. We know that number two, know what you're spending. Number three, be aware of these people out here that's adding all this extra stuff to you when you're going to go buy vehicles or going to go buy furniture, whatever you're going outside to buy that you need, that's a necessity. Be aware of that. Number four, have an emergency fund put up. Know that where that emergency fund is. And number five, finding an extra way to be able to gain extra money on what that looks like and what that is. And so we want to be able to help you, show you that you got to be financially aware.
That's
Any
it.
last words, husband?
Is anybody put any questions on there?
Nope.
All right. No, that's it, man. You did a good job closing it out. This is, us. We always want to, be relevant. We want to help out, let you learn from our mistakes, and instead of you making the same mistake. If I would add one last thing, is don't be self-made. Listen to people. There's enough wisdom out there. People have already done it. You
Ooh,
don't have to figure it out yourself. Ask questions. Ask questions. Ask questions. Ask questions. If you don't know it, that's how people take advantage of you because you come in there acting like you know everything, and you can smell when they don't. Oh
come
yeah, I'm
on.
gonna throw everything on here. I'm gonna get you, and I'm proud of my son-in-law because he wasn't so prideful. He stopped. He texted and he asked. That's what
Yeah,
you got to do. Don't become self-made. Let people help make you.
I love it. Stand on the shoulders of somebody and be able to listen to them. So thank you, husband. Thank you for rocking out. Thank y'all. Every first Monday of the month, we go live on Coffee Conversation. We thank you for rocking out. Thank you for sharing. Thank y'all for being a part of this live with us and pray that this was something that will be able to help you process so that you can grow and go to the next level in your life. That's our whole point, is to empower, encourage, and inspire people out there in life, love, marriage, ministry, and money.
That's
Other
it.
than that, y'all have a blessed week. Stay blessed in all that you do.
God
All
bless.
right. Bye bye. God bless you.